The sky above Earth's secret military base was dark and silent. Only a few stars blinked in the night. Inside the base, all lights were off in one section, Sector D, a place where even humans were not allowed without high clearance. But someone had entered. Her name was Zara. She was not human. She was an alien from the planet Virelia, sent to Earth on a peaceful science mission. But Zara was curious. Too curious. That night, she walked quietly through the dark halls, her soft feet making no sound. Her long silver hair glowed slightly, under the emergency lights. She had never seen a human military lab before, and no one had told her what was inside Sector D. That made her even more interested. She saw a steel door, half open. Smoke came out of it, white and cold. Inside she saw rows of glass containers. Some held green liquids, others were red. One glass tube, right in the center of the room, held a glowing blue and gold serum. It pulsed like a heartbeat. Zara stepped closer. A small screen beside the vial blinked red. It read, "Warning, human combat serum, do not touch." But Zara couldn't read English. She tilted her head. "Pretty light," she whispered. Her fingers reached out. The glass was warm. The liquid inside swirled like a galaxy. A strange smell touched her nose, sweet and spicy. She didn't mean to break the vial. Her nail tapped it lightly, but the glass cracked. Pressure burst out and the serum shot straight into her mouth. Zara fell back, coughing, her eyes wide. The taste was like fire and honey. She gasped. Then, her body started to change. Her heart beat faster. Her skin grew warm. Strange sensations ran through her body. Electric, soft, but strong. She fell to her knees, breathing hard. "What is this?" she whispered. Her voice trembled. Her body was not in pain, but it was responding to something deep inside. A heat, a pressure, a desire. She grabbed the floor, trying to control herself, but the feeling only grew stronger. Then, footsteps. A human soldier walked by outside. Zara froze. Her glowing eyes looked toward the door. She didn't want to be seen like this. Her body was too hot. Her skin shimmered. She ran, slipping out the back, hiding in the shadows of the hallway, but it was too late. A camera had seen her. Back inside the lab, the broken vial triggered an alarm. A red light flashed across the control panels. Combat serum missing. Unknown. Subject detected. Zara hid inside a storage room. She sat against the wall, shaking. Her breathing was fast. She could hear her own heartbeat. Her fingers trembled as she touched her chest. The heat inside her was not normal. It felt like her whole body was starving for something, but she didn't know what. Then, her hand brushed her stomach, and her eyes widened. Sparks ran up her spine. Something inside her had been awakened, and whatever it wasn't going to sleep again. Somewhere in the base, the lead scientist, Dr. Kepler, saw the broken vial alert. His face went pale. "Who accessed the serum?" he shouted. "No human, sir. It was an alien," said the guard, watching the footage. Dr. Kepler stared at the screen. "Oh no, that was not made for aliens. If her body reacts, it could trigger a full biological overload." "Meaning?" the guard asked. "She'll feel everything at once. Pleasure, pain, hunger, desire, and it won't stop." Meanwhile, Zara walked slowly through the base, her body glowing softly in the dark. She didn't know what was happening. But one thing was clear. She couldn't go back to normal. Something had changed her, and someone would soon discover just how powerful and dangerous that change was. Zara couldn't walk straight anymore. Her legs were weak. Her breath came fast. The lights in the hallway seemed too bright. Every sound felt louder. Every beat of her heart pounded like a drum in her ears. She leaned against the cold wall. It didn't help. The cool metal only made her body react more. A deep warmth was growing inside her, like liquid fire spreading through her veins. Her alien biology was fighting something it didn't understand, and losing. She pressed her palm to her chest. Her heartbeat was wild, not with fear, but something stranger, something raw, something primitive. This This isn't normal, she whispered to herself. Back in the control room, Dr. Kepler studied the serum records. The screen showed chemical charts and glowing DNA strands. This serum was never meant for peaceful species, he muttered. It was designed to unlock combat instincts in humans, extreme adrenaline, rage, hunger, but we tested it only once, and it was too strong even for us. Sir, said the soldier beside him, what will it do to her? Dr. Kepler looked at the live feed. Zara was on camera, walking slowly, holding the wall for support. Her skin shimmered faintly, like molten silver. He said one word. Awaken. Her. Zara didn't know where she was going. She just followed the cool air. But inside her the fire kept growing. Her skin tingled. Her fingers kept brushing against her own arms, her sides, her neck. Every touch made the heat worse. Then, she heard a voice, "Hey, are you okay?" Zara turned. A young human soldier stood at the hallway's end. Private Mason Carter. Early 20s. Clean uniform. Kind eyes. Zara's vision blurred for a second. The moment she saw him, her breath caught in her throat. The serum reacted. Violently. Boom! A sudden wave of heat exploded in her chest. Her knees buckled. She dropped to the floor, panting. Mason ran to her. Hey, what happened? Are you hurt? He reached out to help her stand, grabbing her arm gently. The moment his skin touched hers, her body flared with light. Zara gasped. Mason froze, her eyes glowed. Her skin pulsed under his hand. Her breath was shaky, almost desperate. She looked at him, lips trembling. Don't touch. But it was too late. The serum had found what it wanted, human contact. Zara suddenly gripped his arm tightly, pulling herself closer. Her body needed it. Every cell screamed for more. Her voice came out in a low, soft whisper. What did you humans put inside me? In the shadows, two scientists watched the scene through a hidden wall monitor. She's sinking with him, one whispered. That's not just instinct, that's bonding behavior. The other nodded slowly. The serum is adapting her biology, making her crave what humans are designed to suppress. She's evolving, fast. Back in the hallway, Mason helped Zara sit against the wall. You need a medic, he said, confused and concerned. Zara shook her head. No. I need distance. From you. She pushed him gently, but her hands lingered. Her body didn't want to let go. Mason frowned. Wait, are you burning up? You feel like a furnace. I drank something, Zara said. Her voice shook. Blue and gold. It was in a glass tube, I didn't know. Mason's eyes widened. That's restricted military grade. You weren't supposed to even be near that stuff. I know that now, she said, eyes fluttering shut. But now I can't stop. Suddenly an alarm blared. Red lights flashed. Intruder detected in Sector D, unknown biological signature. Zara looked up, scared. They're coming for me. Mason hesitated. Orders said to report alien breaches, but something in her eyes made him pause. She wasn't a threat. She was a warning. And maybe she was also in danger. I'll get you out, Mason whispered, but you need to hold it together. Zara nodded slowly, though her body still trembled. I'll try, but stay back. I don't trust what's happening to me. As soldiers closed in, Mason took her hand and led her down a hidden side hall. Neither of them knew where this path would lead. But one thing was sure. Whatever had started inside Zara wasn't done yet. Zara had never felt fear like this before. Not fear of pain, but fear of herself. As she followed the human soldier through the dark maintenance tunnels of the base, every movement sent strange pulses through her body. Her skin was still glowing, softly. Her breath stayed short and heavy. And worst of all, her eyes kept going back to him. Mason Carter was his name. He didn't speak much as he led her, only glanced back now and then to check if she was okay. But every glance, every brush of air between them made the serum inside her flare again. It was like her body recognized him, like the serum had chosen him. They entered an unused supply room, cold, quiet, with dim blue lights overhead. Mason quickly locked the door. "You'll be safe here," he said, kneeling beside her. "At least for a while." Zara sat on a crate, hugging herself, shivering. Her voice was soft. "It gets worse, when you're close." Mason stepped back. "Should I leave?" Zara looked up. Her silver eyes glowed in the dark. "No, that's the problem. I don't want you to leave." There was a long pause. Mason rubbed the back of his neck. "Okay, I think we should figure this out. You said you drank something. What exactly happened?" Zara explained everything, in slow, quiet words. The vial, the glowing fluid, the warmth, the way her senses exploded. And how ever since she saw him, her body seemed to be controlled by something deeper. Mason looked stunned. "Combat Serum V9. We designed it to amplify everything in a soldier: strength, instinct, reaction time. But to do that, it uses adrenaline mixed with a pleasure response override." Zara frowned. "What does that mean?" He hesitated. "It means your body isn't just reacting like a fighter. It's reacting like it's mating." Zara's eyes widened. "That explains everything," she whispered. "The heat, the hunger, the pull toward you." Mason swallowed hard. "The serum's bonding to your DNA. You weren't the target, but now it's made you the host, and, worse, it's linked your body's reaction to me." At that moment, Zara felt the heat spike again. She fell forward slightly, and Mason instinctively caught her. Their skin touched. Her eyes lit up. Boom! Her body flared with bright energy, like electricity under her skin. A soft, uncontrollable moan escaped her lips before she bit down hard. Mason quickly backed off. "Sorry, I didn't mean—" "No," she whispered, clutching herself. "It's not your fault. It's this thing inside me. It wants to be close to you. The more distance I try to keep, the more my body fights it." She looked up at him, desperate. "Help me control it, please." Outside, security was closing in. 2 squads had traced the heat signals from the serum. Their scanners beeped louder as they approached the room. Inside, Mason paced. "We don't have time. If they find you, they'll lock you in isolation. You'll be studied like an experiment." Zara stood slowly, her legs shaky. "Then let's leave." "You can't. Not like this. You'll burn out before we even reach the outer wall. We need to stabilize." "Your body first." Zara looked at him. "How?" He paused. "There's one way, but it's risky." "Tell me." Mason walked over to the wall and pressed a hidden panel. A secret lab door opened, one only high-level soldiers knew about. Inside were machines, scanners, and biotech injectors. "This place is off the record. We used it for black-level projects," he said. "If I can get a read on how your body is changing, maybe I can find a way to slow it down." Zara stepped inside, feeling the energy in her veins swirl again. "And if you can't," he looked at her, dead serious, "then I may have to do the last thing I ever thought I'd do in this uniform." Zara tilted her head. "What's that?" Mason took a slow breath. "Trust an alien with my life." And just as the scanner began, the door outside exploded. Open. Soldiers rushed in, and Zara's body began to glow again, this time brighter than ever before. The scanner exploded in a flash of sparks. Zara screamed, not in pain but in sudden, overwhelming pleasure that her body couldn't control. Her knees hit the cold floor of the secret lab, hands gripping the metal as waves of heat flooded her from the inside out. Her body was no longer following her mind. Mason rushed to her side, eyes wide. The machines around them blinked red. The scanner that had just touched her skin had completely short-circuited. "Zara!" Mason shouted. "Can you hear me?" She looked up. Her face glowed softly like molten silver. Her lips trembled. Her voice was thin and broken. "It's not just reacting anymore. It's changing me. Across the base, panic spread like wildfire. Commander Roslin stood before the control center's main screen, arms crossed, face tight. "Why haven't we secured her yet?" she barked. A tech officer replied, nervous. "Ma'am, the alien girl's heat signature has gone off the charts. Our sensors can't track her exactly. She's not reading as a normal life form anymore." Roslin narrowed her eyes. That serum wasn't even stable for human use. If she fully bonds with it, she could become a living reactor. The commander paused. Or a weapon. Back in the lab, Zara clung to the edge of the scanner table, glowing brighter by the second. Her skin shimmered like liquid light. Every breath she took echoed with power. Mason tapped quickly on the remaining screens. "The serum is rewriting your DNA. You're not just adapting. You're evolving. Fast." Zara blinked at him, confused. "Into what?" He gulped. "Into something we've never seen before." Suddenly her body arched. She let out a cry, not human, not alien, a raw primal sound that shook the walls. Energy pulsed from her skin. The nearby lights flickered. Mason jumped back. "You're radiating energy now. Zara, you're becoming unstable." But deep inside, Zara felt something different. It wasn't just pain or pleasure. It was power. She could feel her senses expanding. She could hear footsteps 2 levels above. She could sense the heartbeat of the soldier guarding the hallway. She could smell fear from behind steel doors, and she could feel Mason's presence more than anything else. His warmth, his breath, his calm heart. Even when the chaos surrounded them, the serum had locked onto him, and now her entire biology was beginning to connect to him like a core. Then the door burst open. 4 armored soldiers rushed in, guns raised. "Step away from the alien." Mason stood between them and Zara. "Wait, she's not a threat. She's changing, but she's still in control." "She's glowing like a bomb," one shouted. "That's not control." Zara slowly stood, her eyes glowing with a soft, terrifying light. "Please, I don't want to hurt anyone," she said, voice echoing slightly. One soldier fired. The stun beam hit her chest and disintegrated into harmless sparks. Zara blinked, confused. The serum had absorbed it. Mason's eyes widened. That beam was high voltage. Zara looked at her glowing hands. "I didn't block it." "You didn't have to," Mason whispered. "Your body just absorbed military-grade energy like it was nothing." Now the soldiers hesitated. Commander Roslin's voice came through a radio. "If she's immune to stunners, fall back, do not engage. Repeat, do not engage." But Zara's body wasn't done reacting. Suddenly, the air around her hummed. Low vibration filled the room. The walls vibrated, the floor cracked under her bare feet. Lights shattered above. Mason pulled her aside. "Zara, listen, your body's entering a critical stage. If you don't stabilize soon, this power could tear you apart." Zara stared at him. "Then stop me." Mason's voice lowered. "I don't think I can." Zara took a deep breath. Then she stepped forward, past the stunned soldiers toward a mirror on the wall. For the first time, she saw herself. And what she saw was not just alien anymore. She was something new. Something designed by accident. Something more than human. More than Varelian. A creature born from war tech and instinct. The serum hadn't corrupted her. It had awakened her. And now, the universe might not be ready for what came next. The secret lab was silent now. The lights were dead. The air felt heavy like a storm waiting to break. Only Zara stood glowing in the darkness. Still, silent, and not breathing like before. Her body didn't need to. Her transformation had passed. The final threshold. She wasn't just reacting to the serum anymore. She was becoming it. Far above, deep inside the Earth Military Research Center, a hidden chamber unlocked with a hiss. Inside, old tapes, forbidden files, and forgotten data sat untouched for years. Dr. Kepler entered slowly, his fingers trembling. He reached for one file. Project Venom 9. The code name for the serum Zara had consumed, But it had another name too, one never spoken aloud: Seraph Protocol. 50 years ago, during Earth's darkest war, humanity had tried to create the perfect soldier, not through armor, but through biology. The serum was the key. It would rewire the nervous system, heighten instincts, remove hesitation, and amplify pleasure as a reward for violence, but it had one fatal flaw. No human mind could survive it. Every test subject lost control, either going mad from overstimulation or dying with a smile on their face. So the project was buried. Until now. Back in the lab, Mason stared at Zara as she hovered inches above the floor. Her feet no longer touched the ground. Her silver hair floated around her like strands of light. Her skin shimmered like stars. "Zara," he whispered. Her eyes opened, but they weren't just hers anymore. They held layers: human rage, alien desire, and something deeper, something engineered. "I remember everything," she said softly, though her voice echoed like it came from everywhere. "The serum, it's speaking to me now. It holds memories." "It wasn't just a weapon. What was it then?" Mason asked. She looked directly at him. "A test. For compatibility. For survival. For control." Suddenly Zara touched his hand and he saw it too. Visions rushed into Mason's mind. Test chambers filled with screaming soldiers. A prototype called Seraph 1. A female hybrid who exploded into light during a failed test. The original creators had tried to merge combat and pleasure, to make war feel ecstasy-level rewarding, so soldiers would never stop fighting. But they never imagined an alien biology could accept what a human body rejected. Zara was that key, not by design, by accident, and now she held the power of both pain and pleasure, rage and control, life and death. Zara stepped back, breathing deeply. "But why me?" she asked, looking down at her hands. "Why would it choose me?" Mason shook his head. "Because you weren't designed to resist it. You didn't fight it. You accepted it. Your body didn't see it as poison but as evolution." Zara closed her eyes. "This was never a mistake," she whispered. "It was a trigger. And now I've become something Earth was afraid to create." Suddenly, alarms flared again. Commander Roslin appeared on the overhead screen. "Alien girl," she said coldly. "You've taken military property. You are now considered an uncontrolled bioweapon. Surrender immediately." Zara smiled, but it was sad. "I'm not your weapon," she said. "I'm not even yours to control." Roslin didn't blink. "Then we'll do what must be done." An explosion shook the walls. Security drones burst through the ceiling. Machines with glowing red sensors built to kill anything that didn't bleed human. Zara didn't move. They opened fire. Everything slowed. Zara raised her hand. The bullet stopped mid-air, frozen in time. She turned her palm. The bullets melted into light and faded like dust. Even Mason gasped. She was no longer defending herself. She was rewriting the battlefield. One drone charged her. Zara blinked. It dropped. Dead. Every circuit inside burned out. Mason whispered, "You're not just a person anymore." Zara looked at him, glowing brighter. "I'm the final form of a forgotten dream. I am Seraph." But even power has a price. Her body trembled. The serum was still inside her, still rising. She could feel it. One wrong move, and it could consume her completely. Mason grabbed her. "Arm, you're still you. Don't lose yourself in it." Zara looked at him, eyes softening. "I won't, if you stay close." Outside, tanks were lining up. Inside, Zara's choice had to be made: burn the world, or rise above it. And her heart was pulling her towards something neither Earth nor Varelia expected. Warning sirens howled across the entire base. Red lights flashed. Steel doors slammed shut. Security mechs rolled into every hallway. The Earth military had declared full containment. Lockdown. But containment was already too late. Zara stood inside the scorched lab, her body glowing like a living supernova. Her breathing had slowed, but the energy around her was unstoppable. Mason stood beside her, still trying to calm her, still trying to reach the part of her that was alien. Not weapon. Outside, Commander Roslin paced the command center floor. Seal. Off Sector D, don't let her reach the surface, she ordered. If she gets out, we'll be dealing with the galaxy's first living energy bomb. Deep in the tunnels, soldiers in power suits formed a perimeter. They had no idea what was coming. Inside the lab, Zara stared at the sealed blast doors. Her body vibrated with heat and light. Power leaked from her fingertips in tiny flickers of plasma. They won't let us leave, she said quietly. Mason nodded. They're scared. They don't understand you. I don't understand me either, she whispered. But this place, it's killing me. Holding it in, it hurts. She fell to her knees. Her glow dimmed for a second, but then flared again, brighter. Her body was done holding back. She stood slowly, and the doors melted. The soldiers aimed. Don't move. Hands where I can see them. Fire if she... They never finished the sentence. Zara raised one hand. The air between her and the squad bent. Their suits sparked. Shields failed. Guns short-circuited. One by one, they collapsed, not dead but unconscious, as if some invisible wave had swept their thoughts away. Mason ran to her side. You didn't kill them, he said, stunned. I don't want to kill, she whispered. But I will not be locked in a cage again. As they moved down the corridor, more drones and soldiers arrived. Zara walked calmly, glowing with control now. But inside, the serum kept rising. Each second, her body burned hotter. Her senses expanded further. She could hear machines across the base whispering in their circuits. She could feel Mason's heartbeat. She could even feel fear bleeding from the walls around her. But what scared her more was herself. Back in the command center, panic grew. She's passed 2 containment zones. She neutralized Alpha Squad without even touching them. Commander, Roslin clenched her jaw. If we can't stop her, then we bury her. Ma'am, seal the underground levels. Collapse the entire Sector D facility if you have to. I want her gone, now. Zara and Mason reached the last elevator, the only path to the surface. Suddenly, a heavy boom echoed below them. The base began to collapse. Concrete shattered. Pipes burst. The floor cracked beneath their feet. Roslin wasn't trying to stop her anymore. She was trying to erase her. Run! Mason shouted. They sprinted into the lift. Dust fell from the ceiling. Flames sparked around them. The doors slammed shut just as a massive section of wall crashed down behind them. Inside the elevator, Zara fell to her knees again, gripping her head. It's too much, she gasped. My body. It's not meant to hold this power for long. Mason knelt beside her. You're stronger than this, you're not alone. She looked at him, her glowing eyes full of fear. You don't understand. This thing inside me, it's not just reacting anymore. It's learning, growing, merging with me. Then make it yours, he said. Don't let them define what you become. The elevator reached the surface, the doors slid open. Zara stepped out into the night air, her feet touching the earth above ground for the first time since the accident. The stars above blinked. The cool wind kissed her face. Her glow faded just slightly. But then, dozens of Earth fighters hovered in the sky. Giant guns aimed at her. Missiles locked on. A voice echoed from the speakers above. Alien. Subject. You are surrounded. You will surrender, or you will be eliminated. Mason stepped in front of her. You fire on her. You fire on me. The weapons powered up. Zara took one deep breath. The air around her rippled. The ground beneath her lifted. Her voice rang out across the sky. I am not your enemy, but I will never be your prisoner. The missiles launched, and then everything turned to white. Revolution. The sky turned white. Missiles exploded mid-air, but not because they hit a target. They stopped. Frozen, one by one, like time itself had slammed into a wall. Zara floated above the ground, her arms out, eyes closed, and her body glowing brighter than ever. Every cell inside her was alive with raw energy. Her hair moved like it was underwater. Her skin looked like it was made of molten stars. The serum had reached its final phase. And now, so had she. Below her, soldiers stared up in awe and fear. Their weapons powered down on their own, as if something larger than them had whispered, "No more." Commander Roslyn watched the feed from the base command center. Her mouth fell open. She stopped the missiles. Someone whispered, "No," Roslyn said slowly. She became the force that erased them. Up in the sky, Zara's body began to shift, not in shape but in presence. Her glow became softer. Not threatening anymore. Warm. Alive. Whole. Mason stood below her, shielding his eyes from the light, but never stepping back. He could feel it. She wasn't just glowing. She was calling to something bigger than Earth. Zara opened her eyes, and, for the first time, she understood everything. The serum wasn't just a weapon, it was a signal, a test, a lock looking for the right key. And she was the key. The serum had waited years, decades, until a non-human touched it without fear, until someone allowed its chaos to flow freely, until someone trusted themselves enough to carry both the power and the pain. Zara whispered, more to the stars than to anyone else. I wasn't changed. I was chosen. Suddenly a deep hum echoed across the sky. The clouds parted, and from above, something began to appear. A massive ring-shaped structure, hidden in orbit, not human, not alien, older, silent, waiting. It shimmered into view slowly, revealing ancient lights, long asleep, now glowing once again. The serum hadn't just evolved Zara, it had activated the gate. On Earth, scientists panicked. The alien structure was now seen by satellites. Roslyn shouted orders, but the computers failed to respond. Every system had been taken over by a signal. One simple phrase kept repeating on every screen. Host accepted. Pathway open. Zara slowly floated down. Her feet touched the ground. Mason rushed forward, catching her as she stumbled. You're still you, he said. She smiled. I'm more me than I've ever been. Her glow dimmed to a soft golden light. No longer unstable, no longer dangerous, she had won, not by overpowering the serum, but by embracing it. Sirens stopped, soldiers lowered their weapons. Even Roslyn said nothing. No one dared. The girl they had feared was now something they didn't have a name for. Zara looked at Mason. I don't think I belong here anymore, she said gently. The serum, whatever created it, it was never meant to stay on Earth. Mason took her hand. Where will you go? She looked up at the gate in the sky. To find the ones who built this, to understand why, and to make sure no one ever uses this kind of power the wrong way again. He smiled, even though his heart ached. You're becoming a guardian. She leaned forward, forehead touching his. No, I'm becoming me. The sky opened with a quiet flash. Zara floated upward, pulled gently toward the awakening gate. Her light left a trail behind, like stardust. She didn't look back, but Mason knew. She felt him. Later, the world changed. Earth scientists found no more serum. The project was erased from history, and Mason never forgot her. But sometimes, when the night sky was clear, he would see a streak of gold move across the stars. And he'd smile, because he knew she was still watching.